Hello, everybody. It's Sephiroth4 for a big update. Yay! I'm gonna only be talking about one thing today, and that is a podcast that's coming out. I know it's exciting. Everybody, no one has seen a podcast before, but this is different. So, tentatively named the Mental Health Pack podcast. I'm going to be partnering with the therapy practice that I'm interning at, and we are going to be starting this podcast that is geared towards the Let's Play communities here. The Coliseum communities, Luca, Massey, Claire, everybody, and all the big people and little people. The communities I'm part of. And the basic premise of this is giving people in the communities a forum to be heard and to be seen and to be validated. What that means is that you will be given a chance to talk about the things that are going on in your life, but with the added benefit and caveat that it can be done completely anonymously. So the way we're going to be doing that is the podcast is going to be hosted by myself. It's going to try to include guests from the community. I already have people, who are interested. Some of the streamers and community leaders that we know and love will be joining me sometimes, as well as people from the Center for Therapy and Counseling and Therapy Services where I work, who will be adding their own perspectives. So I'll be moderating and just leading the discussion. But the chat and viewers will be able to participate through a Google form. This Google form will not collect data such as emails. It will not ask you to do anything that you don't want to do, say anything that you don't want to say. You can be as vague as possible to keep your identity, clear. But the point of it is being able to submit to us, without being in chat, without being seen, in a safe and confidential manner. Things that you just want to hear talked about, things that have been on your mind that have been weighing you down. Something that you think that, there's an idea in group therapy of being able to talk about, like, the secret we all have. We all carry around with us that secret that we know, that if everyone finds out about it, we're ruined forever. And usually it's not that bad. And in group therapy, which this is not, but in group therapy, being able to talk about that secret and hear other people validate you and say, like, hey, like, I feel like that way sometimes too, or like, I get that, is a very healing experience. And I think that there's a lot of us that are carrying things like that here, and it would be amazing if we can just put it out somewhere. Even if it's not connected back to us, we can at least hear someone say, like, yeah, no, I totally get it, or like, I've seen that there's a lot of people that deal with this, or something like that. So, like, I think that it could be very healing. It'll also be a forum for people to just submit their own advice of, like, things that have helped them, something that they're proud of, that they just want to be heard about. You've seen me do initiatives like this on Twitter and Blue Sky, but I'm trying to make this like a more regular thing. So, and as well, it'll also be a chance for psychoeducation, which means just, talking about how the brain works, how our minds do the things that we want them to do or don't want them to do, and, having chat feedback of asking specific things and, being able to maybe have topics for specific podcasts if we don't have a lot of viewer submissions for that week or something. But there's so much potential here, and I want to have some of the community creators coming on just to give their perspectives on things, because there's a lot of different people, and I am a white male, so I would love to just get different perspectives on that. And if you have content creators that you think would be a good fit for this, They don't have to have a big audience, but just somebody who you think has experience with their communities and with being a positive mental health presence. You know, recommend them to me or contact them and say like, hey, you should check this out. Because I'm going to be looking for as many people as possible to join in on this. You know, I want this to spread, but I also want it to be able to just focus on the people. Like, group therapy is usually like 8 to 12 people maximum. And our experiences online here are that like 8 to 12 people are nothing. So we're going to change our minds on that as well. And I think it'll be a little bit healing for the content creators to understand that like 12 people is okay. If it's your livelihood, 12 people isn't great, but you know, for something like this, that's 12 people that you've helped, and that's more people than I see in a week. So like, it's good. I think it'll be very, very good. And I've run this by, you know, all the, you know, the higher up at the place that I'm working at. She loves it. She's really excited about it. Everyone I've been talking to, all my colleagues have been really excited about it. They think this is, you know, a great idea. There's a lot of potential here. You know, the caveats, this is not therapy. It's basically classified as an educational program. So, you know, this isn't something that you can use in place of therapy. The whole point of what I'm doing here is part of our company philosophy to have supplements to therapy, because the idea is that therapy doesn't stop when the session ends. You have the whole rest of the week. If you see the once a week for an hour, you have the entire rest of the week that you should also still be healing and or working on yourself. So we want to try to have initiatives where people can have extra therapeutic healing opportunities or growth opportunities. And this is a very good growth opportunity, because at the very least, even if you just come to listen in chat, there will be things that you're going to hear that are like, oh, oh, that applies to me, doesn't it? That makes so much sense. I get it now. Or like, you know what, that has been bothering me, and like I didn't want to say anything because I felt stupid about it, but it bothers other people, or things like that. Like, the whole part of this is to just be able to join together in a safe environment and contribute in whatever way you want, and as much as you want or as little as you want, and be able to see that you are not alone here. So I'm hoping that, you know, you can join me. It's going to be Sundays, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. The 8 p.m. is, you know, is negotiable. Whether it's going to be 1 hour or 2 hour really depends on just the programming and what we can do. But it'll start at 6 p.m. Eastern, which is late enough in the day that I can get stuff done because I'm running this. But early enough, I think, that we can also just have like our international audience not be the middle of the night, like with an 8 p.m. start, you know? And Sunday means that, you know, people will be a little bit freer. So again, I'm hoping that you're able to join me on Sunday. You know, I'm going to probably try a test stream this afternoon or tomorrow night just to get things started. If you want to hang out there and, you know, ask questions about it that I can answer directly, we'll do that. But I'm looking forward to this, and this is something I have been working on for a very long time. And there's a few people I've been talking to about it, you know, so you know that it's been going on for a while. But this is my baby. I've not felt this excited for an initiative that I've been doing for a very long time. And it's not just because I put it together myself, but I was able to put it together in a way that, like, you know, the place where I'm working at was enthusiastic about it and was just like, do it. And it's been fun to see the reactions of the people who just don't have a connection to like online communities, asking questions like, what's Discord? I've never heard of Twitch before, things like that. So yeah, I did a PowerPoint presentation where I defined what a VTuber is. It's like on this program I'm going to be using a webcam, unless eventually I make a VTuber model, which I would love. But that costs money, and my place is not paying for that. But I'm going to be using webcam. If I have guests who are VTubers, I'm going to ask them to use their avatars. But otherwise, it's just going to be call-in type things, audio. But I'm going to have my camera just so that you can see me reacting and processing the things that I'm reading and talking about, just to have a more genuine connection there. But yeah, I'm very excited. This is going to run weekly. And I really hope it works, because aside from the fact that like I want it to work because this is my baby, I think that there is so much potential for help in this community. I've seen so many amazing things that people in this community have done, banding together for charities, for helping people out that have had financial difficulties, or just getting together to cheer people up with like Google Docs and stuff. And there's such a great power in this community, but there's also a lot of depressed people, lonely people that are here because they are fleeing from their regular lives, because of prejudice, bigotry, inability to socialize, like so many things going on in our lives, monetary difficulties. My philosophy here is I want to turn our internet communities here from a refuge into a haven. And a refuge is a place you flee to. You're fleeing from somewhere, and you're just trying to find refuge. A haven is a place that you want to go to, a place that's safe, a place that's welcoming. And that's where I want this to be. Is it a high goal? Yes. Is it going to take work? Absolutely. Is it going to need your participation? 100%. No pressure. But your participation doesn't have to be submitting something every week. Just show up. Be part of the viewer base. Be part of the chat. Watch along with us. Share your insights, or just listen and heal in your own space, in your own way. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I hope that you join me as well. In the description is a link to the Twitch page, Centered Wellness, twitch.tv/Centered Wellness. And it's going to be, I think this is going to be amazing. And thank you all for supporting me on this. Thank you in advance for joining me on this. I'm excited. I hope you are too. See you next time. Goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.